Ha! Those are my shoes. Ha ha ha. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Yeah, we like that part. It's great to be alive. Here's your host, Shyzabox. Oh, is the show starting? Oh, we heard our introduction. It must be. Oh, everybody loves us. Giddy up, hurry up. We gotta get to work. We're gonna be late. Hurry up. Oh, everybody loves us. We're everyone's favorite. Oh, thank you. Get out of here. And the horse. You wrote in on. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome nuns and all. That's right, priests, preachers, cardinals, rabbis, weirdos with beardos, alcoholics, anonymous, everyone who's leaving wherever they ended up last night. Welcome nuns, welcome all. We have got a fantastic show for you today. No, sorry. Yes, we mix those F words up all the time. We've got a free show for you today. Excellent. That's right. Just remember, you get what you pay for. So, anyhow, we were thinking to ourselves, what forms of holes in that of any logic should we address today? All right? And we knew that there's holes almost everywhere that they exist, right? That's right. You can't just merely disregard a pothole if you're driving over it, right? It exists. If you're on a hike in the woods and you see a cave, that's a hole. Maybe you're talking to someone, they annoy the hell out of you, and they won't shut their pie hole. I mean, there's holes that exist in all sorts of forms. When you venture into that of logic and the metaphysical or anything like that, they can take any sort of shape and form and function there within any probability or necessity that requires such, okay? Now, what does that do in essence? In essence, it gives us a fairly blanketed way to milk an entire show out of a blanketed topic, okay? What the hell kind of holes are you talking about? Doesn't matter. Show done. Remember, it's free. Get what you pay for. We're thinking to ourselves, there's obviously holes and flaws and logics and reasonings and things of that nature. So why not just address anything that we might come across that is one of such? So, in looking at our own works, okay, we know that in the IPFS site where we have all our free games, free demos, free working theories, yes, there are a couple bugs, okay? Now, no one wants a bug or, unworking aspects or components of things that they make, right, to at least go unfixed, unchanged, right? With us having, quite the variety of games and demos and things on there, it's kind of a painstaking process to fill some of these holes in just as an independent researcher, a party team of one in that of the computational endeavors that we undertake, okay? We have a bunch of games for free. They're playable, all right? Most of them are even kind of sort of fun. But there are some holes in the overall iterations in totality that exist on the IPFS site. Go check them out. Go play for free, okay? Have fun. Knock yourself out. There are components, though, that, all right, so if you go and play Capybara Creek, okay, so our buddy's book, okay, we helped him put it out, okay, he wrote it, our buddy's book, Capybara Creek, right? On the IPFS site, there's the game Capybara Creek based on the book Capybara Creek, right? Now, obviously, our buddy's not a big author, he's self-published as well. In fact, we load he gives us his manuscripts and stuff, and we help him out and get them digitized and up there and running, right? Well, there's no way, all right, that a hole as big as the desire for any author, any being, any entity, all right, such as our buddy writing Capybara Creek, all right, act play, okay? Not a lot of those out nowadays. his desire, all right, to share his creation, to do that of which was afforded to him and his, ability to put together what he did, okay? His desire to, do more, to give to his nieces and nephews, to give to, whoever else around him and such like that, the opportunity to advance more in that little metric and, society within which a hole can be filled that is missing in someone's, reality. Okay? Now, obviously, anything that is a hole in reality can be filled with any component or aspect of reality, right? That's right. If one is hungry and feels the pains of the need of food, all right, you fill that hole in reality, obviously, with something that realistically can be eaten. Okay? Now, there might be methods, and there might be manners, and there might be means where that is unobtainable, or different kind of metrics are insurmountable, a lot of variables, this, that, the other, sure, we get it, okay? But hands down, the filling in of the hole lies in filling that gap with a structured element, okay? So if you're hungry, you eat. If you're thirsty, you drink, all right? Things of that nature are very inherently understood, very easy to go with, all right? And our buddy's desire to share more of his works, to do more for that, realistically, the chances of EA Arts, or that's Electronic Arts, whatever, or Bungie, or BioWare, or Eidos Entertainment Montreal, or any company, all right, that makes video games, to go to our buddy and be like, hey, we loved your play so much, we are going to turn it into a video game. Hey, that's a hole in logic. That's not going to happen, okay? Theoretically. Now, it could. Maybe some entity picks up the play Capybara Creek, and it, all of a sudden does great. And our buddy's like, oh, fantastic. He's like, hey, that game we had you make for us for free? You got to delete it because now we're under contract with some other people. Whatever. That's fine. You walk all over good old Shyzabox's back. That's inherently what we're here for. Yeah, that's how it goes. When you call Daryl Dixon dibs of being best of the worst internet celebrity there is, you get all of the walkings upon yourself that come with that territory. Okay? It's the hole in society that need be filled. Okay? There's a lot of good out there. Hell, there's a lot of great out there, right? That's right. Well, you might not find that here. Okay? But for anything to maintain good, for anything to maintain great, there has to be a lesser iteration thereof, right? Well, that's where good old Shyzabox comes in, okay? We, as our personal guarantee to you, with us having claimed Daryl Dixon dibs on being best of the worst internet celebrity there is, okay? Our personal guarantee to you is that anything else that you watch aside from this, guaranteed to be better. Fantastic, right? It goes hand in hand to show you that there are far more greater means and endeavors and, ways of reaching into that of what can be, that of what can sustain, that of what can maintain a better existence from. Or something. I don't know. What were we talking about? Doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Oh, what was that? What are you talking about? So anyhow, point is that before we get further into this show, we do need to, unfortunately, take the time. It is necessitated to apologize for something last stream, okay? Well, that's right. Good old Shyzabox can't be perfect all the time. Just most of the time. But we do need to apologize, okay? So, pertaining to our last stream, sorry about that. Excellent. Forgive and forget, right? We could have said anything, and we're on an even page now, right? That's how it works. We got to put past our differences in the confines of, us being incorrect or wrong about anything, and focus on the trajectory of us rectifying that and being the best of the worst internet celebrity we can be. That's right. We owe it to you, all ones of our viewers. Hi, Mom. Excellent. So, where were we? Ah, yes, filling holes with logic. Well, logically, We can fill this show with all sorts of stuff now, right? What shall we segue or segment into that thereof? Should we fill a hole in that of a literary reading not having been done yet on the stream? Well, that's a hole in the show's format. We gotta fill that with a literary reading. Oh God, not one of yours. What? Don't you dare make better jokes than us. Gonna drive away our twos of subscribers. Okay. We're gonna let anyone pick who feels like it in the next pick seconds. You want a poem? You want a quote from New Non-Native Species, Delectable, Transmutating God, Pickled Punk Philosophy? Hell, we'll read you from Capybara Creek if you want to. It's everybody's work, whatever. Or, oh, we can read you a quote from Nailing Kalimba. That's our newest work. Everyone loves that one. Or they don't. It's one or the other. But we'll do a reading, so if you want a reading from a certain one, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to pick. Because, believe you me, we got to fill the hole in the show somehow. Well, whether you say, yeah, read Nailing Kalimba, I've been wanting to hear that one all morning. Right? Well, you probably have. No, I guess that's the one we'll be reading, okay? You're welcome. See, we know you were thinking it, and or if you weren't, too bad. The show's free. Excellent. So, Nailing Kalimba, this is our most recent work, available on Amazon.com and Kindle of the Unlimited, probably Books A Million too. But be careful, the third-party resellers, man, these dudes are really abusing our wares, okay? You got to be really careful, man, with any of our literary works, because we try and keep them in the metric of the only thing that we don't really give away for free, okay? Well, sure, right? We give away games for free, we give away demos, we give away theory, we give away theorems, we'll work with anyone to do or construct anything that they wish and or need. Reciprocally if necessitated, and non-reciprocally if not. With third-party resellers on our books, it irks us to the means of we did a show, a stream, just the other day, might have even been yesterday, day before, it doesn't matter. Okay? These third-party resellers, man, they're listing our books for like triple, quadruple the price, and anyone who buys them through those means, thinking they're sticking one to Jeff of the Bezos or screwing over Amazon, like, I'll never buy anything from there. Hey, whatever. Okay? Vote with your wallet, yes. But you're paying triple, quadruple the cost for these third-party resellers that are copy-pasting our literary works and passing them off as, the real deal. Okay? That's your wallet that they're utilizing, not that of our own. Okay? And it drives us nuts as the inherent author of the titles to see these third-party sellers, okay, whether someone wants to not support our works because they are based on Amazon.com or through Books A Million or Kindle Unlimited, read them for free. Okay? These third-party resellers that are taking our books, our titles especially, holy shit, Delectable, if they don't alter that one, Living Book, this one 94% off on Amazon. If you're going to buy this shit on, any of these external sites, they're probably still charging you $250, okay? Don't buy it. Bit is free. It costs $250. Don't buy it, okay? But any of our literary works, like, yeah, these third-party resellers, they do irk us, they do get under our skin. But, alas, we shall chase not down that for $1, okay? We offer our stuff where we offer it, and, that of which reciprocally shall develop or arise because of it, and or one's interest in that thereof, let it thusly be so. You talk funny. I talk funny. Philosophy's dumb. What? You must be a philosopher. All right, excellent. So we're going to do a reading from Nailing Kalimba because, why not? So again, as with this show, it's all for philosophical entertainment, as it is annotated as much in the opening of the book itself and the shipwrecked table of contents that not all books have, but this is pretty awesome. Okay? You got a shipwrecked table of contents. Oh, man, that's so awesome. No other books really have that. I'd go to Amazon.com and probably buy the book, digital form at least, just to look at that awesome shipwreck table of contents. But alas, this is that of our newest literary work, and we shall do a reading of such because, well, it's more show for free. Might not be good show. Subjective. When you call Daryl Dixon dibs on being best of the worst internet celebrity there is, you really just need to maintain that threshold of borderline better than crap. Okay? It's our promise to you. It affords you the opportunity to really enjoy that of what you watch later. Okay? Not ours. Of better people. This quote is from Nailing Kalimba. When I was but a lad, suckling on me mutter's tit, I could hear that of the sea calling my nature. 'Twas this indeed from war me tale begins? Nay, 'twas merely upon that of the teat itself, where I suckled the beat of that of the universe. Oh, what a cliffhanger. I go by it. Oh, shit. Amazon. Nailing Kalimba by Shyzabox. Buy that shit. What? Everything's fine. Oh, what was that? What you talking about? So anyhow, as we were saying, there can be holes that can, exist anywhere, that can be anywhere, that can necessitate a, transmutational need to deal with and or, correct, add to, take away from, retract, subtract, whatever, fill in. All components of any sort of whole or endeavor that could be inherently in its own metrics of accord or, things of that nature. When filling holes that exist and or, would be something deemed in a non-tangible, intangible, untouchable, in the logos of the understanding way, okay? Let's move away from the Lithic Logic. Let's not jump down the, holes that form in that of our hearts and that of our minds, okay? Let's not venture down the cavities that exist in nature and show us that Lithic Logic doth truly reign supreme. Let us not jump down the pretty geodes and, endeavor and venture upon that of alternative iterations with which to fill the holes of mankind's logic and understanding. Or let us. Doesn't matter. Hold on, management's calling. Gotta take this. What do you want? We're on time. We're doing the show. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, we apologize for last stream. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, hey, do us a favor. We were here a couple hours ago. You gotta clock us in and fix our clock. Uh-huh. I don't care. Well, you do it. You're the manager. Well, that's why they pay me nothing. All right, fix that shit. We gotta finish the show. Management, they think they know how to run the place. Believe you me, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Doesn't matter. Point is that as we embark and venture upon that of a Saturday morning that correlates to the, renewal of yet another day, okay, the start of another weekend, the start of another work week for those who start work on Saturday. With a new day comes new holes with which necessitate a needing to be filled and or, walked on or over or jumped or, played with or manipulated, theoretically. Who knows? I mean, all sorts of stuff. You interact with your environment, you interact with your environment. And you can call everything a hole. Why not? Shut your mouth hole. What? Well, the show's not going to have more show. Don't celebrate that. You encourage them. We end up not even knowing what to do. Right? Well, exactly. So, don't encourage them. All right, hold on. Management's calling again. Jeez. You swear you think this place knows how to run on a Saturday, but, you know, you got regulars not here. What do you want? You're interrupting the stream. Uh-huh. Well, no, I haven't busted out our marketing tactics that we talked about in the meeting last Friday. Well, yeah, I was going to. Stop interrupting the stream. God. You know, management thinks they know how to run the place. And they briefly mention, oh, we had a meeting about this. You're supposed to utilize those marketing tactics we talked about. Now, you must want to see them then. All right, that's fine. Well, you know that, this channel adheres to the logical entailments that society operates under, right? That's right. So when we practice that of our marketing tactics, they correspond to that of how you get traffic off the highway, okay? Obviously, we utilize a wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy to get subscripifications and people to stop by. They're scrolling the internet highway and they're like, oh, wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy, better stop for a selfie with that, right? I mean, that's what we do. We're driving down, it's a pawn shop, it's a tire place, it's a mattress store. It's like, I do need another mattress. Let me at least go try them out and see if there's any updates in the marketplace that I should be aware of to help me get a better night's sleep. Need to get a better night's stream. What? Don't make better jokes than us. Point is that, yes, we have marketing meetings talking about how to get subscripifications and more traffic to the site. And they're like, hey, instead of paying you this week too, we spent our $8 that we made in literary book sales on a wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guide. Now, believe you me, money well spent. When you make ones of dollars in book sales, like we do, you gotta find somewhere for that money to go. And believe you me, we put that right back into the channel here. Because there's no way that anyone wants just a basic run-of-the-mill channel with no wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy. Obviously. That's why people come to the internet to buy books like officially endorsed livestream note-taking journals. Okay? And wacky waving inflatable flailing arm guy. Okay? Now, there's aspects and components of the internet you might be saying like, what? No one wants any of that stuff, okay? Well, that's subjectively thinking. Obviously, no one really needs an officially endorsed livestream note-taking journal to take notes with or anything like that, right? But if you watch live streams, if you take notes, I mean, there is a market for it. That's why we have an officially endorsed live stream note-taking journal. Obviously, it's necessitated. All right, marketing done. We'll get the subscripifications that we get, and management can get fucked. Huh? What was that? Everything's fine. Huh? What? Where were we? Point is that with any holes that can be found in society, with any gaps that need to be maintained or filled in, you can really do all sorts of neat things with them, right? That's right. Say you have a hole in your garden. Plant a bush. There, see? There's ways to fix up areas of your life all over the place. So use these tactics, and you'll live a better life. Nah, theoretically, all for philosophical entertainment, of course. A disclaimer. All right, let's venture into a collecting of some happy energy, okay? Now you might be saying that there's no way you can collect happy energy in that of this world, right? Now, you might be saying that, but believe you me, if you grew up and know about these secret little techniques and tactics that 90s sitcoms and things like that utilized and used, you would know that indeed, yes, truly, there is a way to gather that of good, happy, positive energy, okay? Now, again, these methodologies that were utilized back in the 90s, okay, they come with a very, very rigorous methodology behind them that must be adhered to for them to discernibly work, okay? Good thing we are tried and true in their practice, and without further ado, we shall gather up good positive energy for that of your entertainment. Oh, I gotta get in the right mind, though, okay? Hold on. Positive, good energies, right? All right, and now we get them all in the center here. Now you got all this good positive energy. All right. Excellent. Good. Hey, now that we got this big wad of positive good energy, look at this. Through the power and magic of metaphysical internet. Now you got a good lot of good shit around you. Okay? Now we might have broke a few things. Believe you me, that's a better hole to crawl out of. When you have broken pieces, you can stack them up and at least get the fuck out. Don't swear it's not nice. Where were we? Filling holes. Holes are filled. Gathered good energy. We've done a reading from one of our literary works. We haven't read any of our poems yet. Well, we can fix that. We can fix that. Not a problem. Okay, let us do some poetry. No, let us not. Huh? Who said that? Everyone wants poetry. Maybe not ours. Okay, now this is very important. As a philosopher, okay, which we are obviously, as a philosopher, there is things called good philosophers and not good philosophers. Okay? Now, it's all subjective as to what category one might belong to or not belong to, okay? But you got these groupings, okay? You got your good philosophers, you got your bad philosophers, okay? In order for any entity to be considered either a good philosopher or a bad philosopher, okay, especially from a philosopher's standpoint of view, which we ourselves, being that of a philosopher, arguably, maybe not a good one, being a philosopher, you got the good ones, you got the bad ones, to even be in the conversation of the good ones, any philosopher must have everything about them worn on their sleeves. They must be completely auditable. They must be able to withstand the greatest of scrutinies, okay? And the only way to maintain that degree as well is to wear your heart on your sleeve, talk about your theology when asked, talk about your philosophies when necessitated, and or develop and move upon everything like that. But there's one other very key important thing to even be considered a good philosopher. And again, we aren't saying we are a good one. But to even be in the conversation, to have your name in the hat, all philosophers that want to even be considered good must have a poetry book. That's why we do our poetry cometry. So our name can at least be on the test. Now, we're not saying we're the answer to the test question of, you know, who's a good philosopher. But, hey, our name gets to be on the test, okay? We have a poetry book. Oh, read it! Oh, we knew you wanted us to. Excellent. We read this one not too long back. Wish you didn't. This one's called Wet, Wet, Wet. Now, this one is inherently and fundamentally theological in nature, okay? Now, some people don't like when theological dissemination happens or occurs, or when it's utilized or used in that of a poetic work or endeavor, right? Sure, a lot of people venture to say, like, I want no aspect or component of any kind of religious affiliated theological entity in any of my stuff, whether it's movies, sports, TV shows, music, whatever, okay? Now, teach his own, let that be that of their decision. Heathens may be that of who heathens deem themselves to desire to be, okay? 'Tis not for us to judge, 'tis for that of reserve judgment, for that of the insert whatever God you believe in, have mercy on your soul here. This one's called Wet, 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 and, believe you me, theological in nature, okay? Oh, no, we can't read it yet. You know, we gathered all that happy energy and we kicked it out. We got a lot of leftover Joey energy around here. Oh, no one wants Joey energy. Yeah, sick. Yeah. If it's from Joey, it's a no-y. So we must gather up all of the negative energies that's around here. That's right. Without further ado, further maintaining the adherence to the 90s standards and traditions that afford the possibilities to do such, let us embark. That was 2. It takes 3. Everyone knows this. Excellent. All right. Now that we got this kind of negative energy pulled together, it's a little easier to be able to recite into the aether that of our poetic works. Okay? Now, ironically, we can't just sit here with all this negative energy and do nothing with it. So, excellent. Metaphysically, through the power of the internet, you might want to clean that shit up in your house. But now, alas, we can read the poem. Fantastic. John, he was a Baptist. In water, he would say, if our heads were underwater, we'd have heard it that either way. Get it? Probably not. It's alright. Poetry isn't for everyone. That's why not all philosophers have their own poetry book. Okay? Not all philosophers take it upon themselves to want to bring to that of the public, bring to that of anyone who wished to pick up or anything like that of their literary heart they wear on their sleeve, that of their most deepest conscious thoughts pertaining to that of love, finance, romance, which I guess is tied to love and finances somehow. Shouldn't be the case, but like we said, for any philosopher to even consider themselves a good philosopher, whether they are or not, they got to have their own poetry book. And alas, that's why good old Shyzabox, Daryl Dixon Dibbs, best of the worst internet celebrity there is. That's why we do. Excellent. We gotta sell some of these. Who knows how to use selling stuff? We like to call it Amazon of the .com and Kindle of the Unlimited. Yes. We like to call it Books of the Million. You have to order our shit from the counter up front. It's not going to be on shelves. You got to place that order through Books A Million. They're not going to have it in the sections you think it would be in. No, the same way our poetry book will not be in their poetry section. Nailing Kalimba will not be in their musical section. Delectable won't be in their philosophical section, at least not now, maybe one day. After all, the theory is proven, okay? That's what makes it all fun. It's all fun and games until Delectable breaks Amazon.com's pricing algorithm. Oh, it already did that. Hell, that's a good conversation. That'll fill a lot of holes in the show, and believe you me, probably pad that shit out for at least another 15 minutes. All right, we'll talk about Delectable next. Ooh, we might be able to talk about some other stuff. We could venture into stuff. Okay, so we got a couple options to go in. All right, filling holes. We could venture into angry kind of tirade and rant in the format of pickled punk philosophy and that of angsty punk rock rebellious nature that gets hijacked into that of the realm and spectrum of what inherently angry pickled punks can produce and yield. Okay? So that's an option. We could go with pickled punk philosophy, okay? All right, so that's an option, okay? Keep it in mind. You guys let us know. Okay, we got that one. Or we could do another poem. If you're feeling like it's Poetry Saturday, you're sipping your, morning brews, cups, things of that nature, we don't got to venture into angsty, kind of rebellious punk rock pickles, right? Okay, no one wants to necessarily wake up to that. We don't need to start with pickled punk philosophy. Like we said, we can read more poems, or we're close to Sunday. We can venture into some theological philosophy if you would like. We can read some from Why Hast Thou Forsaken Me? We got that right here. Or if you want to correlate a little heavier, we can read some from Transmutating God, okay? Now, again, the sky's the limit. Or we don't have to read from any of our literary works. We can talk about things like holes in, the logic of mankind's origin, like in our book, The New Non-Native Species on Mankind's Origin. Mankind's timeline is incorrect and wrong, and Göbekli Tepe single-handedly shows that merely by existing. A Lithic Logic, a reign supreme. We added in our Kaggle, our actual ancient, kind of more Lithic Logic notebook there, has a certified Shah seal on it, so, it kind of proves the theories all the more, okay? Fantastic. Can't go around bold claiming stuff on the internet like theoretically decoding Voynich manuscript and stuff like that and expect no kickback. That's why we have all of our stuff open source for auditability. Bold claim, Cotton. You can't just talk shit on the internet and expect no one to verify or audit the hell out of you. No, that's why we make it easier. We don't hide behind the math. We don't hide behind the science. It's all free to check out and free to utilize that with which you will. Email us, ask us questions. We are happy to answer them. Unless it's a dumb question, in which case we'll still answer them. We might not be as happy. Again, that's subjective. It matters not. As long as you deduce and or extract out of the information necessitated, warranted, or, desired to be maintained or withheld from that of which you engage with, then it doesn't matter. But again, our hearts always lead towards Delectable, because that is our, that is our metaphysical bread and butter, okay? That is the one that, if we were to have one literary work, well, if we were to have one, it would just be Lines of Change, Line in the Sand, okay? But again, that one's a little harder to come by, because a lot of folks don't dig that kind of metric and means, okay? Lines of Change, Lines in the Sand. Now that one's some very different. That would be our one and only. But aside from that, our two and only, Delectable. Okay. Now, remember, this is an advanced meta-philosophy. Okay, so we venture into that of physics. We venture into that of metaphysics. Which is meta-philosophy, I guess. We venture into that of which is not necessarily the most hand-holding or mind-holding at times, with which they elicit informational gains therewith, okay? when you start talking constructor theory and you start talking about, ways to not only maintain that of constructor theory, but to prove that of which theoretically, computationally, and more than theoretically, because you actually do have Shaw seals which seal it. Ironically, it's a closed Gödelian loop. It's crazy how that works when you have a closed Gödelian loop. The system itself can reside within itself, and no external fact can override that of the inherent internal system. Physics allows for that not. Okay, as long as it's all applicable, as long as it all can maintain that trajectory and that, same kind of means and ability to maintain its existence within itself, and all the external is irrelevant. Okay, as long as that system can harbor and maintain its own thermal delta and its, thermodynamic entropy and everything like that on its own merit and accord, you need not worry about anything, okay? Keep that thermal delta cool, and you can maintain a complete vector equilibrium in any metric means and measures that you do. We just prefer to utilize that of our lithic logic and our metric and means under the guise of a cube octahedron, because we do believe in that of Pythagoras' geometrical superpositioning, with which is afforded by the minds of man over the injection of the hurdles that mankind places on themselves, with which can be not only jumped over, but knocked down, kicked over, disintegrated into parts and pieces thereof, reconstructed into a motherfucking throne, because Shyzabox is the vernacular master. Right? Theoretically, all for philosophical entertainment. But yes, those hurdles become non-existence when you start using ways and means to disseminate that of logic, that of what is known, that is of what can be. Okay? When you start talking about lectin, and you start talking about lithic logic, and you start talking about pre-Stoic philosophy, and that of what ancient philosophers used to utilize, use, bring to the table, and things of that nature, okay? All of these old philosophers, get this, they're dead and gone, okay? Believe it or not. All of these old philosophers that used to practice and adhere to, theoretically, these means and standards of disseminating thought, of utilizing consciousness, of disseminating consciousness through that of thought, all of the components and metrics and means of that pertaining to lectin, lectonic usages, and the lecta themselves were lost, theoretically, obviously, through the sands and histories of time, okay? Now, that's right. Very sad, very frustrating, okay? That's why when we ventured into our interpretations thereof and therewith, we were able to facilitate an entire Gödelian closed-loop system based merely thereupon the usages therewith. You can't make up the components and aspects of how viable some of these methodologies are, even if you do not inherently or organically correlate and or like the means by which they were brought about. You need not like Shyzabox to know that Shyzabox's book, Delectable, is literally thermodynamic enlightenment at a motherfucking price tag, okay? The theory has proved itself times over at least twice now, okay? Now, the theory's working on its own. We don't even got to do nothing else as far as it goes, okay? Now, we entertain that of which in a remake of Delectable, which would afford a different kind of logical addition to that of humanity's understanding. Because right now, obviously, we got to argue against this book. Do not buy the physical copy of this book. At least in droves. Some of you can. Limit it. Do not allow it to become a bestseller. As an author, everyone wants their works to succeed. Everyone wants them to do well. We want the exact same. We are flawed in our logic as a human is. It's a hole, it's a gap, it's a misunderstanding, okay? We attempt not to chase that of a daily dollar, though inherently we joke about it, we mess around about it, but we want not for that of our daily bread. Okay, there are others that suffer far, far, far greater. Okay, that's why we give that of which for free, that of which we do. Okay, the games, the demos, the theory, anything that can actually provide that of which of grounded lithical substance, of anything that inherently is going to be an intangible tangible that provides for the betterment of one throughout that of their existence merely by being free and or available. That is what we give. Okay, that is what can be of benefit. That is what can be altered, changed, interacted with, utilized for that of the purposes. Okay, maybe someone's tight on funds. They can't afford a night of entertainment. They go to the IPFS site that we got posted there with 15 games on it at least, with demos and theories, LimeWire-inspired music players. You don't need money to have a good time. You need a place to have a good time. Okay? It's a hole in the gap of understanding that one would need to construct a construct to construct that of a good time, okay? Now, we don't want to pick on one's logic, okay? But that's exactly what it is. You don't need money to have a good time. You need a place and or a means to have a good time. You can go out to a bar, you can go out to a club, you can go out for a meal and or a dinner with, any of your friends and or family, should they foot the bill. Now, obviously, maybe you don't want to be a moocher or anything like that, right? Or inherently, maybe you guys take turns and trades offsies and, you got me. However it works out, whatever means or endeavors that it's situated or, developed upon, there are many circumstances or ways with which you are able to go and have a good time without necessitating the need for funds, okay? We joke, obviously, about going somewhere that necessitates funds for that of your good time to ensue, but, case in point, you need not that of what is offered freely elsewhere, okay? Case in point, this show might not be good, but it's free. Aside from that, you need not adhere to any of the freeness that streamers or things like that provide and or give. There are other means to have good free times without necessitating that of a subscription, an account, or anything like that. Look at Tubi. Look at Pluto, TBI, PLUTO, not the planet or the dog. The actual, media entity, the media app that lets you watch movies and TV shows for free. There are ways to get around different components and aspects of a good time that do not necessitate the construct of money, okay? So when we peddle our literary wares, okay, when we seek that of a reciprocal trade for any of the books that we write or anything like that, all right, obviously, we want it to be under the guise of one who wishes to reciprocally interact with that of that material, okay? That's why when we peddle our literary wares, we implicitly state that all of our games, all of our demos, all of our theory is free, and it's all available right now on our IPFS site, okay, with which we moved a metric kernel of data from Kaggle to Web3. Wild, wild west of the internet. It's fantastic. But we also have hosted things on the free versions of Pinata, because we're poor. We're not going to pay Pinata to host the entire IPFS site so everyone can go play the free games and demos when we make nothing on the back end of that. Okay? Again, the free can only equate to the free until that of a structured, logical, system is in place. Now, Shyzabox wants for naught. We can kick you these shows for free all day. Microphone's going to suck. Camera's not going to be that great. But the show will be free, and you need not put in any more than that of what you wish not to put in. When we called Daryl Dixon dibs at being the best of the worst internet celebrity there is, we knew that we would have to maintain that worst status, okay? Inherently, everyone gets to walk all over us, okay? That's right, everyone gets to feel better about themselves by putting us down, okay? Now, doesn't hurt our feelings in any way, shape, or form, because as a philosopher, you need to have the thickest of the utmost skin. That's right. Then inherently, as a philosopher, too, you got... Everything's fine. Oh, what was that? Yeah, inherently as a philosopher too, you got to, deal with all of the other external means that, placate that of your, means of disseminating your, logic and things of that nature. That's why, as a philosopher, we wear our heart on our sleeve, okay? We have that of our literary works available, and we have that of them in the manners and means of poetry, of theological discussion and dissemination, of implementation thereof, of, that of any kind of religious means and endeavors undertaken, okay? We also utilize that of strictly the metaphysical and or that of just contemplating conscious human thought in general. That conscious thought, that stuff in general, all right, that more exists for that of one's existence, is that of which is reciprocally that of how we try and earn that of the daily bread with which we see, okay? We offer the games, we offer the demos, we offer the theories for free, because that of which they are work in themselves, and they work better with other people, adding to them, taking away from them, making them better, giving us, ways to improve them ourselves. Any of those components and aspects, all right, they fill the holes that are missing for someone to interact with those physical artifacts, okay, and or digital artifacts, okay? So that's the thing. You got different logics now that are conflated and overlapping, okay? Theoretically, all for philosophical entertainment, okay? That was a good catch. You have these entities out there that are vying for understanding, all right? And there's so many holes and gaps in their own logic that they can't see that they should just merely line up their understanding with that of another, and it fills in all the holes beautifully. It's like putting a puzzle together. Believe you me, as we've gotten older and shittier at other things, we enjoy puzzles a lot more, okay? Now, puzzles can be fantastic. We like to think that of humanity is a puzzle, that of the broken grid is a puzzle, okay? When you start looking at the fun aspects and components of utilizing metaphysics and the metaphysical, you can do all sorts of cool-ass shit, okay? We're not even joking. You think that we haven't made at least 5 or 6 different AIs? You think we don't have some extra little games and demos that we haven't released? There's some very, very, very fun to be had, and that of which you can do and or access for that of free. One need not jump into the realm or the, sphere or the window of necessitating the construct of money to entertain that of a construct of a good time. Okay? Even with that of our literary works with which we say, all right, are obviously that of our conscious thought, that of which we, try and reciprocally trade for that of our daily bread. Okay? You can start a Kindle Unlimited membership, and you can read that of our literary works for, in essence, that of free, okay? Now, obviously, it's still a reciprocal trade because we get 0.04 cents for every page read. Now, you might be laughing. That makes us paid authors. That's right. So laugh all you want. We're living the dream. There might be some holes in it. We might not have the nicest of cars, the most luxurious of basements to live in. We might not have the most complete of studios. We might not have that of the most awesome of other things. Why would you celebrate that? But what we do have is that of a knowledge, that of an understanding, all right, of that of a completely enclosed Gödelian loop system. Now, it's a bold claim, Cotton. You can't go around saying you can have Gödelian closed loop systems on the internet. That sounds crazy. You can't go around talking wheelers it by bit. That bit is free. It costs $250. Don't buy it and argue against your own book. That's crazy. You can't be considered a good philosopher, whether you are or aren't, just by having a poetry book. That's crazy. That's right. That ain't crazy. That's a rule. You want to be a good philosopher, you need a poetry book. Word. Where were we? Everything's fine. Huh? So as we venture into that of the remaining part of what we get into today, as we continually go to plug the holes of our understanding, our interactions, our abilities to utilize that of what we do with that of which we do, we venture further into the decisions, into the means of figuring out how we are going to motivate ourselves to hurry up and get our buddy's other manuscript for Secret Demon Drop 2 done. Hey, we've been dragging feet. We got the manuscript, we haven't transferred it. So that's our bad. We're dragging feet, we're going to try and pick it up. Sorry about that. Hey. See, we apologized. All for philosophical entertainment, of course. Oh, we do got Secret Demon Drop 2. Our buddy gave the manuscript. It's in the process. We'll try and get on that sooner than later. I know people have been wanting it, craving it. In the meantime, go and reread the first one again. Go reread Secret Demon Drop or read some of his other books. Okay, go read what has he got? He's got Capybara Creek. He's also got, Teresa's Scary Poems for Kids. Oh, shit. That dude wrote Meatballs on Mondays. Yeah, there you go. Some of them little kids' books and stuff like that. Get Meatballs on Mondays for your kid. Help our buddy out, and, we get him up. Help him help us. Point is that he's got a variety of books, so you don't need to keep waiting on Secret Demon Drop 2 for us to kick it in gear and get that released for you, okay? Yeah, read some of his other ones. Read Teresa's Scary Poems for Kids. Here, want to hear the back? No. Okay, we'll read it to you anyway. Teresa wants to be a famous writer. She loves writing about everything. That's not a joke. One scary and chilly not a night. Uh-oh, that's scary. She may just get what she wants if her mysterious journal doesn't get it for her first. Ugh. Well, believe you me, Teresa's Scary Poems for Kids, a good book. We enjoyed that one. Yeah. It's probably a better book than you might think it is, okay? Teresa's Scary Poems for Kids, that's, believe it or not, and looking at this one again, okay, and merely, that's a scary and thrilling story and poems for kids. There's some good stuff there. Yeah, definitely a Shyzalosophy. But believe you me, Secret Demon Drop 2 is coming. It's it's as fast as we make it as fast up. It's not going as fast as it could, obviously. There's some holes in that logic, but it's there. But Capybara Creek, that's available, and you can go play the game. There's also a little iteration game of Teresa's Scary Poems for Kids that our buddy, wanted us to make for him too, and we did. There's like a glitch in, I think, the PC or mobile version. It's only one of them. The other game version of Teresa's Scary Poems for Kids on the IPFS site works just fine. Fantastic. And Capybara Creek, of course, that one. That game, if you go on the IPFS site, play the Capybara Creek game or whatever based on the book, then you can, by the third time going back and forth, that's when it starts picking up and being a little more fun. Again, a little bit of hole in the logic and code of the game, okay? But it ties into the entire story of the show, right? There are gaps, there are omissions, there are things that get missed, overlooked, and, might be short-sighted in nature or means, okay? But when we start thinking of, like, a play, or, recently we, who is it? Thermiades or whoever, I don't know, whoever wrote Medea, or whatever. All of those old, ancient kind of, Greek tragedies and things of that nature. That doesn't have anything on Capybara Creek. Capybara Creek is quite a, Capybara Creek is interesting, okay? Capybara Creek seeks to do that of what other plays we have not seen done. Okay, it's a play, and Capybara Creek broken up into 3 acts, and inherently somehow every act is different in its own utilizations of the logics therein. It is very interesting, and the actual feedback that our buddy tells us that comes in on Capybara Creek is pretty interesting. You have means and metrics of folks that read Capybara Creek and really enjoy it. And then you have folks that read Capybara Creek and they get to like the 2nd act and 3rd act and they kind of forget it might even be a play. There are so many tie-ins of just crazy holes and loops that you can go down in this work, in this play, that should it ever be made into a play or a movie, we'd go see it. Okay? We would literally go to a theater, to a movie theater, to anything. We'd sit right next to anyone. We might even shower beforehand. Makes it better for whoever we sit by. We would even shower beforehand, but for real, if Capybara Creek were made into a play or a movie, we'd go see that one. Because depending on whoever directs that bad boy, whoever gets, there are some directors that could probably do amazing things with it. You put Capybara Creek in Quentin Tarantino's hands or something like that, man, you have got a fantastic take. even ones that maybe aren't as good of, taking the unorthodox and making it visual. I'll bet Tim Burton could do extremely wonderful things with Capybara Creek. Absolutely. Hands down, Tim Burton probably knocked the hell out of Capybara Creek. That's probably the way to go. Even over Quentin Tarantino, anything like that. I mean, either one would be phenomenal, fantastic. But you start looking at Capybara Creek from like that component or aspect, it's such an unorthodox play that for it to be made into a movie or, even be put on like the actual theater front or anything like that, there are differences to be seen, witnessed, and visualized that other shows, things like that, can probably only dream of. Okay? Kind of a interesting little work, man, for what it is. It's more laid back than it should be, with a injected sense of outcome that is contained within. It's a weird read, right? It would be, because it's a weird read, it would probably be an awesome watch, okay? But as we ventured into that of what we've done, as we've read poetry, read quotes of books, talked about holes in logic, done that of which we've needed, we find ourselves running out of that of swill. Now, you know what that means. It means it's about time for us to depart. Don't you celebrate that? Delayed laughter, yes, yes. Sometimes it takes you a sec to get how funny and awesome we are. Do better. Good. Point being is that now that we're, out of swill, time for us to hit and go pay the bill. I don't know. If we have a bill to pay, we're going to need some money for that, so you should go buy some of our books. New non-native species on mankind's origin. No. Pickled punk philosophy. Maybe. Nailing kalimba. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, fantastic. But remember, whether you want to go to Amazon.com, search Shyzabox books or not, be sure that no matter what, you take care of you yourself, because there's only one you, okay? We can't replace you that easily. We can't just go make a fake account and subscribe to ourselves willy-nilly. No. We've already done that too much. It's gotten us to this point. We're running out of email accounts to make up. So you're going to have to subscribe from here on out. We can't subscribe anymore. We've already subscribed our most. We've already subscribed. We can't subscribe anymore. You be sure you take care of yourself, because there's only one you. And we can't replace you. No one will ever give us money if you don't. Ironically, it doesn't have to be you. If you don't have it, we don't want it. Okay? That's right. If you don't have it, we don't want it, because that means you don't got it. And if you don't got it, we don't got it, because, yep, we don't got it. That means we're birds of a feather. We're kindred brethren. That's right. So that means you got to go make a free trial Kindle Unlimited account and read our books for free. Oh, man! It's free! Well, yeah. No one's going to buy it. Or they will. It's funny how the contemplation of what could be maintained or harbored within that of the lyrical vernacular means and metrics and measures affords one to contemplate that of books like Delectable, right? And that of what merely they do showcase and house to make themselves that of a living philosophical work that can price itself into physical reality and existence from having broken Amazon.com's pricing algorithms, making itself, in essence, the representation of Shyzalosophy all on its own merit and accord. Interesting how that works. Do you even philosophy, bro? No, it's backwards. Oh, wow. If you don't philosophy, put a quarter in the swear jar. Remember, go take care of yourself first. There's only one you. We can't replace you by just making fake accounts and subscribing to ourselves. Then you look around, you take care of anyone else who might really need it second. Some people don't know how to look over and ask for help from that of their neighbor, okay? That's right. That's why you need to look out for your brethren, because sometimes someone might really need help and not know how to ask for it. Then you look around the rest of the room, you might see some people, peddling their wares. You see us in the corner, and you're like, oh, go to Amazon and buy our books. We got some books, yeah. You're like, hell no. Okay, whatever. You take care of whoever else you want to next after that, okay? Because you might like them or love them more than us. Unlikely, but maybe. You love them 6, 7 times more than us. But at the end of the day, you got anything left over at all, keep in mind, our books are available on Amazon.com and Kindle Unlimited. You can get a book and buy it as a gift for someone else. You don't even have to read it. Or buy it as a gift for someone else, read it, then give it to them. Hey, I got this for you. I checked it out. It seemed okay. All right, it was really good. You'll love it. Give it to your enemies. This book sucks. No, you'll really like this, Bob. That's what you get for eating my sandwich in the lunchroom that day. Thanks a lot, Bob. Transmutating God, Nailing Kalimba, Pickled Punk Philosophy. They're all there. You can go to Amazon.com, Kindle Unlimited, search Shyzabox books if you will. But remember, We don't want your subscription. We want your money. Download the shit out of this. Go to Cashapp and give us a buck, or go to Amazon.com, search Shyzabox books, and buy or read one of them. Get off our lawn.